so happy. He's like, yes, my child is back. Okay, now, where were we?
Seen it done, changing the impossible to the greatest story told. All I am is nothing short of a miracle. I'm in awe, you're so amazing, doing something amazing. He's always away.
Hello, 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 everyone. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you all doing? And to those of you that are joining us for the very first time, welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Catrice, and I welcome you all to this light of mine. So, guess what? It's Wednesday, right? We all know the drill. It's Wednesday. Yay! And so we are back at it again. I hope that you are having a blessed week so far. I really do. I hope you all are doing well. I really do. So last week I made mention that we may be starting a new series, and that the new series will be on the topic of waiting. Yes, waiting on God, right? I don't know about you, but I know in this journey with God of mine that I have struggled with waiting. I have, and today's journal entry is going to show proof of that. However, as children of God, as believers, let me speak for myself. I have struggled with that. And I'm like, if I've struggled with that, then maybe someone else has struggled with that and may be struggling with that now, right? And so what happens when we're waiting and we feel as though God is silent, right? Because he's not answering the prayer, or you're not getting any direction, or you feel like God is not present, and so you feel as though his silence means that he's absent. And that's definitely not true, right? Because he did say that he will never leave nor forsake us. However, with that, being impatient in the waiting, you then begin to do things on your own, right? It's like your own efforts, right? Because, well, God is not listening. He's not present. So I'll do it myself, right? And so there that trust comes in, right? So as you're doing things yourself, then that leads to, oh, well, I'm alone in this, right? And then you feel as though you're alone, and then that discourages you from praying. And as that discourages you from praying, then you're like, well, I'm going to pray less because God is not listening. And then when you feel as though God is not listening, then you feel as though, well, I'm going to pray even less because he's not going to answer anyway, because he's not listening. He's not present. It does not mean that he's absent. God is working. He's working it all for your good. So there are going to be moments that you feel silence, but that doesn't mean that he's not present. That doesn't mean that you stop praying. That doesn't mean that you stop hoping. That doesn't mean you stop believing. That's when your faith and your trust in him becomes even deeper, right? Because, it's one thing to pray and to hope and to trust and believe when you feel as though God is present, right? That's easy, right? Oh, I trust him. I see him. I see the works. I see what he's doing. But what about when he's silent? Don't become impatient. That doesn't mean that he's not working it out for your good. I feel as though sometimes, even as a natural parent, when you have a child and they're now learning to walk, and you put the child down and you be like, well, let me see where, he or she is going to go, which way he or she is going to go. And you sit and you wait. And then when you see the baby going the wrong way, what you do, you pick the baby up and then you put the baby on the right path, but then you sit back, right? And then after a while, because them little legs can run. So now you got to chase after them. However, what I'm saying is God is working. And I think sometimes as he's working on you and as he's working for you, he's also waiting on you, right? So in a nutshell, please do not give up on God. His silence does not mean he's absent. Okay? He's working it all out for your good. You can trust him. You can rely on him. You can keep that faith. You can keep that hope as you wait, right? It's only going to get deeper. Your trust in him is going to get deeper. Your faith in him is going to get deeper. Your hope in him is going to get, your belief, like all these things, it's going to get stronger. It's going to go higher. It's going to get greater and wider, right? So hopefully you are encouraged today that during those silent moments, during those silent seasons, that you continue to trust, that you continue to wait, that you realize that God is still working it all out for your good. All right. All right. So let's get into the journal entry. I pretty much just read it, but just, um, let's get into it. It's not going to be a long one because I think it's a page. All right. Let me get my glass. Oh, they're on. All right, I'm looking at the time here. All right. And so the title of today's journal reading is Wait. When I get impatient or weak in waiting, I start to do things myself. God, help me to wait on you. When I don't get direction from God or reassurance that God is with me, I feel abandoned. I feel like I'm on my own. And that also keeps me from praying because I feel like when I pray, God is not listening or that God is not answering my prayer. And then that leads me to think that I did something wrong, that I did something wrong to deserve God's distance and silence. I don't have confidence in my prayers, and therefore I'm not praying confidently. And I'm not praying confidently that my prayers are being heard or will be answered. As I stated before, because it feels sad. It sounds really sad, and it shouldn't. Again, I forgot about that piece where I felt as though I did something wrong because of God's silence, and I felt that God was distant. And that's another piece to this, that his silence does not mean that he's distant. It doesn't mean that he's not there. And no, you have not done anything wrong, because I found that, uh, when I was in those seasons where I was struggling with the waiting, when I felt as though I did something wrong, then guilt would creep in. And then once the guilt would creep in, I would stop praying altogether. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to not pray. He wants you to not seek God. He wants you to not trust God. However, when you then go back, into God's presence as he's waiting on you, right? He doesn't now look at you and, hey, where have you been? And why did you, like you've done nothing wrong. And what he does is when you come back to him and you begin to pray again, and you begin to seek him yet again, he's so happy. He's like, yes, my child is back. like, okay, now where were we? Like that's what it is. So please do not be discouraged in your waiting. Do not be impatient with your waiting, because it leads to these things where you just disconnect altogether and then you leave God waiting, because he's already working it all out for your good. So let's keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, that he's still there. His absence, his silence does not mean absence, right? It means that he is silently working it all out for your good. And as he's working, that you allow your trust and your faith and your hope to become deeper in him, right? Right. And as your trust and your faith and your hope is getting deeper, is also go higher, 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 and wider and greater, right? And continue to wait and wait confidently for your expectations, right? Wait with confidence because you know that your Father who art in heaven, he's working it all out for your good, right? And that you're confident that if you do get off track, that he'll pick you up and he'll place you back down and allow you to walk in the right direction. Okay. So there it is. We are beginning the series on waiting. And I hope this was encouraging to you, um, because waiting is a struggle. Waiting is a struggle. And I think what it is when we're waiting, it's like because you can't see it. You can't see it happening, right? And therefore, that's where the faith come in. Can you see faith? But that's the whole point of having faith, right? You can't see it, but you know that it's happening, right? And the evidence is when, you get to that place that God has, or get that thing that you prayed for or asked for. It's like, that's the evidence, right? Like, oh my gosh, like he's working, he's working, he's working, he's working. Keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith, keep hoping, keep waiting, keep trusting. Do not allow the guilt. Do not allow the impatient, mindset. Like, do not allow all these things to, kind of like creep up in your thoughts, right? Because then that allows you to separate and disconnect altogether, right? But do know that if you disconnect, that you can always come back. And when you come back, that your Father who art in heaven, he's waiting for you. And he's ready to go. He's like, okay, well, let's go. It's not going to be like, what, why did you why did you go that way? Like, no, he's waiting for you as well. So again, guys, I hope this has encouraged you. We have a couple of more journal entries in regards to this waiting. And this one was, the first one is heavy, right? Yes, 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 yes. So I thank you for joining, and I thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I thank you all for all of my subscribers out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And God willing, I will see you all next week. God willing, you will see me next week. And until next time, everyone, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.